And the report by the DOJ Inspector General, which identifies widespread FBI abuses of the FISA process, continues making waves among lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Here's One America's John Hines from Washington.
Utah Senator Mike Lee is speaking out about the need for reform of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, in light of the latest information from the Department of Justice Inspector General pointing to widespread abuses of the FISA warrant process.
You can't simply give federal agencies within the U.S. government the investigative equivalent of a blank check. Every time we have one of these revelations, every time we learn something new about FISA abuses, I get more people joining this cause and saying, gosh, you were right to be concerned about this. Every time that happens, we see more people joining in this cause and joining in this effort, and I welcome what's going to happen now in light of this report.
So Lee thinks the time is right for a provision to stipulate a counsel to provide a due process defense for those who are the subject of a secret surveillance warrant. Lee calls this an amicus curiae, or a friend of the court provision, or amendment he's drafted along with Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy that Lee plans to bring up for debate and a vote on any FISA reauthorization legislation.
The reason we need an amicus involved in this process, and the reason I want to expand the role of the amicus, has everything to do with the fact that within this FISA court, there is no opposing counsel. There's only the government lawyer. And when it's just the government lawyer in the room and nobody else is there with an opportunity to give the other side of the argument, you run into problems.
And it sounds like the amicus you're describing sounds an awful lot like a lawyer for the defense. Is that kind of what you have envisioned?
Yes, it's essentially a lawyer who would represent the opposing viewpoint.
The opposing viewpoint, and according to the agreement struck last month in exchange for delayed consideration of FISA legislation, Lee and his Senate allies are assured time for debate and a vote on any amendments they plan to offer. And if for some reason Lee isn't able to do so, he may just filibuster.
I never rule out any procedural tools at my disposal in advance. And if they try to shut us out of the process, they're trying to reauthorize these provisions without giving us amendments that they've agreed to give us, I will use any and all procedural tools at my disposal, including that one.
The filibuster, you mean?
Yes.
Lee adds that on March 16th, the Senate approved a temporary extension of FISA until May 30th. But the House never approved the Senate extension, which means the three provisions of FISA set to expire have now done so. John Hines, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.